So DL Hughley, he was performing in Nashville, Tennessee at Zane's Comedy Club. And in the middle of his routine, he passed straight out in the comedy club, and they rushed him, to the hospital. And I want you to hear exactly what DL Hughley described as he was diagnosed with the coronavirus when he thought he just had exhaustion. Let's roll that clip.
It's me, DL Hughley. I'm just being released from St. Thomas Hospital in Nashville. I want to thank them for taking such good care of me. I want to thank you all for your well wishes and your prayers, and you comedians who called such evil things when I was scared to death. Thank you too. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers and well wishes. When I came, I was being treated for extreme exhaustion and dehydration, which I was very dehydrated. But it turns out they ran a battery of tests, and I also tested positive for COVID-19, which blew me away. I was what they call asymptomatic. I didn't have any symptoms that, other classic symptoms. I didn't have flu-like symptoms. I didn't have shortness of breath. I didn't have difficulty breathing. I didn't have a cough. I didn't have a low-grade fever. I still don't have a fever. I didn't have a loss of smell or taste. Apparently, I just lost consciousness. So, in addition to all the other stuff you have to look out for, if your ass pass out in the middle of a show on stage, you probably need to get tested. So I am going back to my hotel room to quarantine for 14 days. And well, thank you for your prayers and your well wishes. And a few more of them wouldn't hurt. So hopefully I won't develop symptoms. Maybe this is as bad as it gets, and I'll just pass out over and over again, or not. But thank you. I appreciate your thoughts and your prayers, and they did not go unnoticed or unfelt. Thank you.
So you heard it straight from DL Hughley himself. He said he didn't have no symptoms at all. He didn't have no fever, no cough, no sore throat. He wasn't achy. He didn't have anything. Any kind of symptom at all with this coronavirus. And my sister-in-law, who's a nurse, in the hospital that she's worked in, she says a lot of people now are being asymptomatic, just like DL Hughley now. So they could be walking around with COVID-19 and don't even know that they have it. And, he said he's going to, quarantine, in a hotel room for 14 days. But when you looked at the original video of what happened to DL Hughley, a lot of people wasn't even wearing no mask at all. And we are still in the middle of the pandemic. This particular, leadership administration we have now failed miserably on this coronavirus. And that's why we are still dealing with this situation. And, people don't want to be inconvenienced not to spread something, because I could tell you right now, being in the state of Texas, when everybody was hunkered down and everybody was wearing their masks like they were supposed to, our number stayed low. It didn't raise up or anything. We did better than anyone else, considering the size of the state I'm in. The moment that they relaxed everything and these people walking around with no mask, now our numbers just start shooting up in this state. You know what I'm saying? And it's shooting up. And they probably going to end up having to lock it back down. At least for my sister-in-law, is that they say they're locking down their area in Houston and Harris County. They have a mandatory mask order as of today, and you can't go into any business now without a mask, which it doesn't bother me. But you have certain individuals that don't want to follow the rules. And, we posted on this channel, Karen was crying that she had to have on a mask. It's a new normal. Like I said, unfortunately, for here in America, I remember people used to laugh at the Chinese walking around with the mask on all the time. And now we're walking around with masks, something we never thought that we would walk around with because of this COVID-19 that's going around. My thing is this, if you can't social distance from people, being in enclosed environments like that, like a comedy club, even if they open up the movie theaters, I'm not going back to no movie theaters. I mean, it's not, for me, it's not really conducive to be in any kind of inside environment like that. Sure, live your life, do your thing, wear your mask. But we need to think a little bit until maybe they get a little handle on this. Now, listen, you can call it coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. You know, if you want to go on that line of Trump calling it whatever, you know, the things that they calling it, I can't, because see on YouTube, you can't, they have the clearest day for content creators, what you can and can't say about COVID-19. So you know how they talk about it. You know, people say the things they say about it, you know, but I'm more so going to guys of science. I'm more so going to guys of talking to people that I know personally who are in that field and see it from different perspectives. And like I said, I'll talk to my friends and family about that a little quicker than I'm going to believe certain individuals on YouTube or anywhere else just trying to make videos and trying to sound good during a time period where you still have a global pandemic still going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like even international travel is still down, which is, you know, I can't stand that because I'm ready to roll. Right. But, you know, I hope, you know, DL Hughley don't develop anything. I hope he just takes some time, rest. You know, I would tell the brother, you know, take care of yourself much as possible because this is not nothing to play with. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with DL Hughley. You know, he came down with COVID-19. I mean, it's happening to everybody. One thing about COVID-19, it doesn't discriminate. And we definitely got to make sure to pay attention to do what we're supposed to do to protect ourselves as much as possible.